Hi, good afternoon again. I'd like to welcome you to our web demo titled See Enterprise BI in Action. My name is Jennifer Summers, and I'm today's host for DMG Federal. Our presenter today is Lexie Garrett, Director of Delivery for DMG Federal. But before I turn you over to Lester so he can tell you a bit more about his background and then take you through today's agenda and demonstration, first let me take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Everyone is on mute and will remain in listen-only mode for the duration of the presentation. We encourage you to ask any questions that you may have, so you'll need to use the question feature at the right-hand portion of your screen in the Go-To menu bar. It's really simple. Feel free to test it out if you'd like. And then at the end of the presentation, we will be going through the questions. The session is scheduled for 30 minutes, but if it should run a little long, we will respect everyone's time and aim to take unanswered questions offline, but all the questions will be answered. We will also be recording today's demo, which will be made available to all attendees following the presentation. If you encounter any technical difficulties during the presentation, please contact me via the chat field at the bottom of the Go-To menu bar, or you can just email me directly at jennifer.summers@dmgfederal.com. Okay, now that we've taken care of all the housekeeping, I'll turn you over to Lester Garrett. Thank you, Lester.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. My name is Lexie Garrett, Director of Delivery. I bring to the table 18 years of BI experience. I am Birst certified. I am also DMG Federal's first employee, retired Air Force Reserve veteran of 23 years. For those of you who are not familiar with DMG Federal, we were founded in 1995 and have several competitive discriminators, to include hybrid practice, both commercial space and federal space. Other competitive discriminators include all of our resources are certified professionals, and we're a very focused, community-based, employee-owned company. I would also like to point out we were honored to have been recognized in the Inc. 5000 4 consecutive years. So let's talk a bit about Birst. Birst Agile Enterprise Caliber BI delivers accurate, actionable content in an intuitive self-service environment. It also allows users to combine data from different sources, systems to get their most pressing business concerns in real time. And when the questions change, it adapts quickly to the new request. For today's demo, I will be showcasing this ability in real time. For those of you not familiar with Birst, Birst is an end-to-end solution which includes automation of data warehouse / data mart, embedded ETL, report designer, and dashboard tools. Birst enables organizations to keep their analytics data on-premise or deploy to a private secure cloud. With this solution, you will have access to massive volumes of data, get multi-dimensional analytics, make decisions based on real-time reports, alerts, and dashboards, secure sharing of information across the enterprise, also have access via the web browser or mobile devices. And some of the benefits of Birst BI Cloud are lower cost, faster deployment, is the ease of use, the flexibility, the accessibility, the scalability, and it's also an in-memory application. So, for this demo, we'll be using a sample data set from Mango Corporation, and I want to set the stage. We will now walk through the life and the day of Mango Corporation. We currently have over 8,000 employees worldwide. Need to understand where we need to focus over the next few years, geographically, product-wise, and revenue. We have disparate sources to include SQL, old CSV files, old Excel spreadsheets from multiple locations. We need the ability to drill down to the row level of data, and it's essential that the data is secure when viewing reports from any device. So let's go to the demo. I'm going to minimize this. So what you're looking at here, guys, is basically a URL in which every user would have. This is a full deployment in the cloud versus on-premise. So in this example, we're going to log in keep in mind the moment I log in, security is being applied. So give me a second to log in here. Okay, there we go. Now, if I get logged in, what's going to happen is going to run my security against the database and see what am I allowed to see in multiple levels. But the first view is going to be what's called spaces or containers, if you will. So just imagine if you have multiple data sources or multiple departments, you can actually store each database or each department in its own container here, in which each container will be secure based on your permissions. So what we're going to demonstrate is the Mango Retail database, but we're going to work backwards. I'm going to show you the end results, the dashboards, the end result of all my hard work and labor, which really only took a few hours from start to finish. See, the true power of Birst is this automation of the processes. So we're going to start with the dashboards, and keep in mind this is a total end-to-end solution, which means all of my data has been imported up into the cloud. The ETL process has been has transformed into my data, my linking, and we're going to show you all that towards the end, but we're going to first show you the end result, which is the dashboard. So it's sending a query to my database now and retrieving my information and displaying it in a nice visual format. No longer do you have to contend with the client memory resources. This is zero client. Just need a URL browser, Chrome, IE, etc. Now what you're looking at here now is I can quickly see what's going on within my stores across the U.S., across the country, what have you. Year-to-date revenue, year growth, year-over-year growth percentage, and also everything is very dynamic, interactive, which makes it very intuitive and nice to look at it the eyes. And you can make decisions very quickly visually. So I can basically choose a different parameter, if I will, or prompt, year, month, for year 2013-03, and you will see all of my information is updated accordingly. Even my pie chart or donut chart is updated accordingly. Very interactive. So if I want to look at my store performance, I just click on another page, and again I got several prompts. I can quickly see what's my top performing stores, top 10 stores here, by regions, by channels, by categories, and I included a Bing map so that you can see that, again, another visual across the United States. That was one of my requirements. I wanted to see what's going on with my stores across the United States, and I can hover over each state, and it's going to give me my total for that particular state. And what if I want to narrow down and say, what's going on with my Southwest region? And when I click on Southwest, it's going to quickly update all of my charts accordingly, giving the top 10 stores for the Southwest, and highlight within the Bing map my top 10 stores, okay, in color code. But if you look below and down here, my performance, you can see a lot of my stores are now subpar, okay? They're below my threshold of 0%, which is not good. So now I can quickly drill down if I choose to by clicking on the bar chart and see more information. If I click on my product performance, I can quickly see, again, what's going on with my year-to-date trends or product categories. I have a nice line chart. I have a heat map below here. I'm just showing you some of the different visuals and, on the fly. And which is nice about the heat map is that you can quickly see what's going on production-wise based on the color. So the darker the color, the more the value. The lighter color, the less the value. I can also see what's going on with my data on the fly as well. So as you can see, I have a line chart which I'm comparing all of my products here, okay, year-to-date trends up and down. But if I want to see what's going on with my actual data or table, so I can, on the fly, choose table and now actually do some analysis on the actual data field itself to make sure it's pulling back the right information, okay. Let me quickly put that back to a line chart, and I can choose by pie chart on the visual on the fly. I can also export on the fly. So what's so great about this, I can basically capture a snapshot in time via PowerPoint, via PDF, I can also, or via Excel. I can also schedule. So let's go to schedule report, all within a single platform. So I go to schedule, go test, and if I had a distribution list, yes, I could choose the distribution list as well, but I'm just going to just simulate and put my name in here. There we go. Go to the STR. Typo errors here. Go. Federal. So as I type, now I can go to my email and make sure in the body just tell who I'm forwarding this particular report to. Please verify the information. Okay, whatever I want to put here, and schedule. I can schedule it to go now, daily, weekly, monthly, you name it. So I'm going to cancel because I don't want to kick this off right now just yet. Just to show you a few more examples, if I go to inventory, again, now I can quickly see what's going on via detail report, more detail by store name, retail city, category type, and products. I can quickly see what's going on with my stores. And if you look down below here, you can see it's actually retrieving my information from my maps as well. If I go to my what-if analysis, this is a very common one. I want to do some, what's going on if I were to increase revenue by 10%? What's going on if I were to increase by 50%? Okay, we can do true what-if analysis and get questions answered that's not in the database. So you can see here, I got several trends here. I got the revenue, which is my bars, columns. I got my trend forecast, which is this orange line here, and then my what-if analysis. So if I can quickly go to my what-if revenue changes by, instead of 10%, let's just say 20% or 25%. If you watch my orange line, it should increase by 25%. Click on all, and it's going to dynamically update my bar chart. Perfect. So now I can see what happens if I would increase it by 25%. And just in closing, in terms of my dashboard demo, if I go to chart example, just to show you a few more examples of how Birst can really visually display the different information in so many different various formats, and it takes a matter of minutes. And keep in mind what you're looking at. I actually imported the data, created the ETL model, created reports, exported it, created my dashboard, and it took a matter of 8 to 12 hours. So from start to finish, you realize your return on investment very quickly. So if I click on my charts, another example of charts, again, you can see visually how another heat map is created, scatter map, Bing map, geo map, so you name it. You basically can create and just point, click, and drop. As long as the information has been massaged, as it has been here, you can easily create visuals. So let's take a step back. I want to show you just how quickly and easily we can create a dashboard from scratch. Okay, I'm going to build a report, save it, then come back, create another new dashboard with parameters, and then we're going to show you the ETL model, where the data is coming from. So again, keep in mind this is all single platform. Every time I make any action or any clicks, it's verifying who I am, what information I'm allowed to see, all the way down to the column level of data. So if I click on Designer, no longer do I have to contend with licensing, logging out, logging in. This is all within a single platform, within the cloud. So as it loads, it's retrieving my database information based on my groups that I'm authorized to see. So on the left-hand side, it's going to retrieve my fields, my attributes, my measures. On my right-hand side is where I'm going to build my report. So if I open up my subject area, you're going to see I have a number of attributes, okay, a number of measures. We're going to keep it very simple. So we're going to bring in a time attribute. We'll bring in, say, year, month. I can just double-click, and it's going to put it on my report canvas as such. Give it a chance to load. Perfect. And let's just scroll down and maybe go to my retail stores. Actually, measure, sorry about that. We'll do revenue. And we'll do order date, total sum. Okay, give it a chance to load. So now I have all my total revenue for all of my years for the database. Now, I'm going to bring on my pivot control. Again, I can do some pretty cool things here. I can drag and drop, switch my columns around. I can massage the data. So what I want to do, I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller and put a filter on my year month so that we can really see. And we want to see everything that's less than, okay, We'll do less than. We do show value, so we make sure we choose the right value here. No biggie. And we just do less than 2012 or maybe 2006. Save it. There we go. So now, all we did was insert a filter so that it's going to minimize our return on our data. Hit save. Now I want to go back and insert a chart. Okay, I want to insert a nice little chart. Very simple. I can quickly click on one of the pre-designed charts here, or I can go to Add, Chart. Again, this is all on the fly, just in a matter of minutes. And based on my selection of data, it's going to determine what reports or chart types I have available. So again, I have a lot of different options here: column, bar, range. It just goes on donut, pie, stack. You can see tree map, Bing. We go back to the top and choose column, because again, we have year, month, series, very simple column chart. And yes, I could go back and change some of the characteristics of the chart, makes it look pretty, and change some of the font, but this is, for time's sake, we're not going to do that. I'm going to hit apply, and my chart should appear just above my table here. Let's give it a second to load. Perfect. Close that. Close that. Okay. Very simple. So now the last thing I want to do is turn off my table. So I don't want to see both of these in my dashboard. So I'll go to options here and quickly unselect my show table. And my table should just be hidden at this point. Perfect. So now we're going to save it. We're going to go to report, save as. We're going to put it into our private folder. So we got two options, private or shared. I want to save it into my private folder, give it a name. This is February 26th, so I just know where to find it. Saved. And we've just created a report. So again, think about it. All you would do is create multiple reports, and then you would add them into your dashboard. So let's go add it to our dashboard. No longer do I have to log out. Okay, I'm just clicking on the three tools within Birst, and it's going to load the dashboard, and then we can actually resume from where we left off. And it's still checking to see what pages I'm allowed to see, what database fields, etc. So we're going to add, click on the plus, new dashboard. And now all we have to do is build our page out. So best practice is to create a prototype prior to doing this step on paper. So I kind of know what I want to create. So I'm going to basically right-click, split it horizontally. Okay. If I want to remove it, if I make a mistake, I hit right-click, remove, goes away. So horizontal, drag it over here, and we'll split this as well. Vertically, no big deal, split. All right. So now what I'm able to do, I'm actually able to put my dashboard or report of choice in here, as well as drag and drop here, and also put in two parameters or prompts. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is from scratch. So we've already created a report, correct? So I'm going to go to February 6th. I just drag and drop here. That one's ready to go. And I can also go to an existing report that's already been created, that's shared out, that have permission. Again, it's all permission-based. I can go to my reports and just see if anything's available here, and I see quite a few. And we're going to bring in categories and store crosstab. Just drop, and there we have it. Nice report on the fly. So now I'm going to add in a couple prompts. I'm going to go back to my subject area and just drag in a couple attributes. In this case, we're going to bring in state and region. So I'm going to go to my retail stores. There's my state. I can just drag and drop. And we're going to bring in retail region. Just drag and drop here. Now it's a matter of opening up my default and just move them over to the left here. Put my province down the bottom. I put my region up top. Close. And the last thing, we're done, is we want to modify the properties of each dashlet. Okay, so I want to modify the properties so that I can export to different formats. So in this particular one, this is a bar graph. it would be nice to maybe be able to select from bar graph to line chart, etc. So this is going to allow me to make it interactive. Also, PDF is great, and also PowerPoint, and definitely want to be able to schedule. So I'm going to save it. And again, those properties only apply to this top dashlet. Let's do the same for the bottom cross tab. I'm going to edit the properties, but this time it would be nice to be able to go to CSV, Excel, schedule, of course, okay, and maybe even my pivot control, which allows me to dynamically change my report around on the fly. Okay, save, and we're done. It's now just a matter of saving it and giving it a name. So I'm going to give it a name of February 26th demo. I'll just put that in my private folder as well. Save, and let's see if it works. It's going to come right up and it should be ready to go. Perfect. Looks good to me. And you see here, each dashlet has different options here to export. Here I have PDF, PowerPoint, and schedule. Here I have pivot controls. I also have CSV, Excel, and schedule. Okay, and let's see if my prompts are working. I can choose my Northeast region, and everything should update dynamically. Everything is perfect. I saw it move. Okay, let's see if choose West. Again, all my numbers should update accordingly. So everything is in sync on the fly. That didn't take about 5 minutes, guys. So the last thing I want to show you is where is all this magic happening? Where is it coming from? Let's go to my admin tool. If I go to the admin tool, again, this is where Birst clearly rises above the competitors, because most of the time you have to have a third-party application or solution to actually do your ETL, but this can be automated. I've basically pointed to an Excel spreadsheet, imported the data, did my linking, processed my data, and created a few formulas on the back end, so that now the end user does not have to know the database structure, because it's all computed for the individual. So it has 4 steps. You first upload your data. Again, we upload flat files to include Excel, spreadsheets, access databases. You see zip files, and you name it. It's got to be less than 20 megs. This is a quick way to get out and show a demo, just like I'm doing today. Let me go back to my managed space here. Again, we have Birst Connect. If data security is an issue, yes, you can keep your data on premise, okay, and we can actually create a live connection to your Oracle database or your existing data warehouse or data mart, so security would not be compromised. If you feel like you don't want to import your data, fine. We have a live connection from our tool as well, okay. We can also connect to Salesforce, just to name it as well. If I click on Birst Connect, as you can see, you have a number of data sources, and again, if I go to Manage Sources, here's where it's going to let me know what I'm connected to at the current and present time. In this case, I have my Mango data source and my tables. So let's take a look at this ETL piece. If I go to Data Model Flow, now you're going to see my raw tables. On the left-hand side, you're going to see, which is in the blue, my raw tables, and then when I imported my data, created my linking, I then processed the data, it created my data warehouse. This is my data warehouse on the right. This is my raw data set on the left. So yes, I do not have to use all tables. I can use what I want you to use, create alias tables, and the end result is my nice, pretty star schema data warehouse to include a fact table. And I can right-click and basically see the information or process data along with the SQL, which can be edited at the very top here. I can modify the SQL on the fly and change and clean up the data prior to sending it to the end user. And yes, this can be scheduled to run nightly, to load weekly, cleanse the data, and reload, etc. If I go to the last tab over here, Manage Access, is where I'm going to basically go and define who can see what groups. I can invite people, individuals that don't have this tool, okay, this solution. You can send them an invite to your existing container or space. When I go back to my custom report catalog, I can basically manage what reports can be seen, scheduled, etc. I can go to my process data, where you're basically going to schedule your report, and see all of your magic happen in terms of it's going to go out and send a query back to the database and process the data. If there were errors, it would let you know here, and you can troubleshoot and go back and run and reload the data as well. And lastly, if you don't have the answers currently in your database, you can create the answer in terms of formulas. And you see here I've created a few custom formulas in which the end user does not have to compute. It's going to be used over and over again. Create them one time at a low level, save it, and it can be utilized during the reporting process. So again, there you have it, guys. From start to finish, total end-to-end solution, secure cloud with Birst. So let me skip back over to my PowerPoint here. Okay, it's coming up. Give it a chance to load. Okay. Did pretty good on time. This is the last slide here. Well, in summary, Birst is a comprehensive BI in a single solution which provides email capabilities to various formats, dashboard and drilling, its pixel-perfect reporting, ad hoc OLAP capability directly from a dashboard. It's a self-service environment where users can create, modify their own analysis, have extremely strong metadata layer, can run in the cloud and on-premise. It has more functionality than any other player in our space. Ultimately, you save 1/3 the cost, time, and resources of traditional BI to deploy. We'd like to thank you for your time, and I would like to pass it back over to Jennifer. And as you can see here at our Engage, it's just another way we hope you reach out to us and allow us to basically self-service you and allow us to basically show you how you can engage with Birst. So Jennifer, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Lester. At this time, I'd like to go through any questions that you may have from the presentation. As a reminder, to ask questions, please use the question feature at the bottom of the menu bar in the GoToMeeting console. We do have a couple questions in the queue. One was just around whether we'll be sending out the presentation slide deck. Yes, that will also be made available to you in the follow-up email, as well as we will send the link to the DMG Federal Engage for any specific interest in DMG's concierge service around Birst, as well as Birst's free trial. So the other question, Lester, the admin screen performance seemed very slow. Is that typical?
Well, it's going to be dependent on what's going on in your existing internal site as well. I'm on my laptop. Keep in mind I'm on the laptop and I'm wireless. So my performance may be degraded just slightly, but keep in mind I'm doing this off my laptop, wireless. I'm at the mercy of whatever's going on my existing network. So typically it's pretty fast. I mean, it's pretty seamless.
So it's based on your network speed or connections?
Yes, there's a few variables that come into account. You have to account for what's going on your existing network, your laptop, your resources at that particular time. So, but 99% of the time, it's pretty seamless.
And then the last question that I see coming through is, how many different data sources can you connect to?
I haven't really counted them, but it's quite a few. I mean, it's not too much we can't connect to. In fact, I can send you a listing of what we currently can connect to. That'd probably be the best answer, because I haven't ever just counted like 25 or 30. But it's not too many that we can't connect to. In fact, like I said, I haven't encountered one that we haven't been able to connect to. But I can send you a listing of what we currently have in place that's been tested, where you have it.
Excellent. Okay, those are all the questions that we have in the queue. So once again, I want to thank you all for attending. As a reminder, we'll be sending you the recording of the presentation as well as the slide deck, and then follow up with you individually to ensure all questions were answered, as well as talk a little bit more about DMG's Engage concierge service. Thank you all again, and have a great day.